Good morning students. Today we will continue with chapter 3 History, the Sultanate period. In the previous class we have dealt about the slave dynasty and we dealt about all the rulers, that is Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, Razia Sultan and Balban. These rulers were the slave dynasty. So moving further, we are going to study about the Khilji dynasty. The first ruler was Jalauddin, that is Firoz Khilji, who ruled over 1290 to 1296. He was considered to be as a weak ruler and he was very lenient towards the Mughals, and it was that he married Ulgha Khan's daughter, who was a Mughal leader, and he was succeeded by his nephew Ali Gusha, who took the title of Alauddin Khilji. So moving to the most important and powerful ruler, that was Alauddin Khilji. He ruled from 1296 to 1316. He was considered to be the most powerful ruler of Khilji dynasty. He was very ambitious and he wanted to rule over the country. So he conquered Gujarat and Malwa and captured Rajasthan, some forts of Ranthambore and Chittor from the Rajputs. So he captured the forts of Ranthambore, Chittor from the Rajputs, and he wanted to capture half of the part of India. So he sent his trusted general Malik Ghaffar to southern part of India to capture the territories, and Malik Jafar, the general, he defeated the other ruling dynasties of southern part of India, that was Yadavs, Kaktiyas, Koshyas and Pandyas. So he defeated all the four rulers of southern part of India, and after the war Malik Ghaffar took all the rituals or all the wealth, including precious metal, elephant, horses and slaves from that territory, and it was granted to the kings. That means after the defeat from the Alauddin Khilji, they were granted to rule in their kingdom, providing that they should be giving tribute to Alauddin Khilji. And it is seen that towards the end of Alauddin Khilji's reign, that means empire, his empire was large as the Ashoka, and it is seen that to have a lots of war or fighting with the war, Alauddin Khilji needed lots of money. So he started another source of revenue, that was the land revenue, from where he can get more money and he can give to the army people and its people. So it was another source of, or you can say important source of collecting money from the people. And to increase tax collection, he introduced many economic reforms. So we are going to talk about what are the new changes he brought or introduced in his period, which increase as well as it has demerits in his ruling period. We talked about the Khilji dynasty and we talked also about the Alauddin economic measures. What were the reforms he wanted to make? That was about the land. So he increased the land taxes. And what was the economic measures he took to make sure that he gets more money from the people? He divided the land into two categories according to the fertility, and he made the land tax as a fixed, and he raised the land tax in a Doab region, that is where the fertility is more, he will be getting more tax. So that peasants or the farmer have to pay more tax, that is where it is Doab region, that is a fertile land area between Ganga and Yamuna river, that area area would be giving more tax, that is one half of the produce they have to give the tax to the king or to the ruler. And he was also very sure, and he doesn't want his farmers to get burdened. So he always have a strict check against the nobles that they should not be collecting any extra tax from the farmers and other people. And he also kept a check on the officials, and he always discouraged corruptions. And he also introduced getting a account that what are the how many taxes it has been paid from this land. So it had a audit from the nobles. He introduced a form of auditing from the nobles so that there should be no corruption in his empire or in his kingdom, not empire, in his kingdom. So this system was followed by Sher Shah and Akbar. That is, auditing, it came from Alauddin Khilji, that means keeping the records of land revenue. So it was followed by Sher Shah and Akbar because it was a good policy in which they can have a record that how much they are getting from each land and how much they are paying the taxes. And he also introduced a market control policy. That means Alauddin Khilji, he introduced a market control policy in which he lowered the prices of all the food items, whether it will be food grains, whether it is cooking oil, clothes, whatever the things, he lowered the prices of the goods. And he also instructed the shop owners to have a fixed rate, and if the owner takes more than the people, then he will be charged or punished by the ruler. So it was a market control policy, that means in which the sultans has lowered the prices of all the essential items, that is food items and even the clothes, so that he can pay the soldiers. Okay, he kept these items at low cost so that he can pay the soldiers at low salary. That was the motive, because he was very ambitious and he had a big army because he was occupying a large area. So he was having a big army. So he need more money, so he introduced land tax, and from that tax there were many policies were made for the people so that he can take money from them and they can be given to the soldiers. So he wanted to make goods cheaper so that he can pay the soldiers at low salary. And this was a region, because of that many people became more poorer, and this was a cause of revolution. That means revolt against Alauddin Khilji, because many people did not like at all this policy, because many people started becoming more poorer and poorer. That means there was no use of giving the prices at low cost because they were getting less salary. So there were other reforms were also being made in the army, as from the land revenue he started getting more money. But it was seen that to have maintain a big army, he has to pay more, but he has made the price, or you can say the salary, low, and he used to give the salary in cash. Okay, so he used to give the salary in cash, and he started branding horses to prevent the substitution of good horses by the inferior one. That means he started bringing the good horses and he was exchanging with the bad horses, inferior, which was not so good from that. And it was also being seen that he used to have a check of all the other kingdoms. So he sent many spies, that means information person, informer, who used to be in different parts of the kingdom, and he used to give the information to Alauddin Khilji. So the spies were kept in different parts of the kingdom to give information about the developments. And after that, after the death of Alauddin Khilji, there was a broke off successor, that means after the death of Alauddin Khilji, who would be the put on the throne. But it was there that Khusrau Malik was the last ruler of Khilji dynasty, because there was always a war for the throne, that is for the successor, and the last Khilji ruler was Khusrau Malik. But Khusrau Malik was defeated by Ghazuddin. Okay, Ghazuddin defeated Khusrau Malik and he started the Tughlaq dynasty. So we have talked about the Khilji dynasty, we have talked about the slave dynasty. In the next class we will be starting the Tughlaq dynasty. Thank you.